Welcome to OLP 365, fellas. Let's be honest. Self-respect is everything. You think a lion worries about what a gazelle thinks? No, man. A lion knows its power. It knows its worth. If you don't respect yourself, no one else will. And it's not about being some cocky dude walking around like you're better than everyone. It's about knowing your damn worth. Look, we all struggle with self-doubt sometimes. It's part of being human. It's like that voice in your head telling you you're not good enough, not strong enough, not smart enough. But you know what? That voice is full of shit. Today I'm going to give you 5 powerful strategies to shut that voice up for good. We're going to break down some serious mental jujitsu to build self-respect and level up your life, starting now. This isn't some wishy-washy self-help crap. These are real tactics that have worked for me, and they'll work for you too. Stick around, because at the end of this I'm going to give you one action step that you can apply today. One simple thing that will instantly boost how you see yourself. Let's get into it. Let me tell you something, man. Every time you say you're going to do something and you don't, you lose a little bit of respect for yourself. It's like you're breaking a promise to a friend, except that friend is you. Think about it. If you constantly bail on your buddies, they're gonna stop trusting you, right? They're not gonna believe a word you say. It's the same thing with yourself. Every time you break that promise, that little voice in your head gets a little louder. It starts saying, see, I told you, you can't even do this one simple thing. But here's the thing. You can do it. You just gotta start small. Write down one promise to yourself today, just one, and keep it. It could be something as simple as I will do 20 push-ups today, or I will eat a healthy breakfast. Whatever it is, make sure it's something you can actually achieve. Don't set yourself up for failure right off the bat. This isn't about becoming some self-help guru overnight. It's about building momentum. It's about proving to yourself that you're a man of your word. You see, the problem is, most people try to do too much at once. They try to overhaul their entire lives in a day, and then they wonder why they fail. You gotta crawl before you can walk, man. You gotta start with small wins. Think about it like training for a marathon. You don't just go out and run 26 miles on your first day, do you? You start with a mile, then 2, then 5. You gradually build up your endurance. It's the same with self-respect. Each promise you keep is like adding another mile to your training. It shows you that you're capable of more than you think you are. And that's a powerful feeling, man, so don't underestimate the power of small wins. They're the foundation of real, lasting change. So how does this all tie into self-respect? It's simple. Trust. When you keep your promises to yourself, you build trust in yourself. You start to see yourself as someone who can be relied upon, someone who follows through. It's like you're developing a relationship with yourself. And like any relationship, trust is key. When you trust yourself, you believe in yourself. You know that you're capable of achieving great things. And that, my friends, is the foundation of true self-respect. Let's talk about your body for a second. Your body is your temple, man. It's the only one you got. You wouldn't let someone trash your house, would you? So why would you let them trash your body? A man who respects himself takes care of his body. It's your armor in the game of life. I'm not saying you have to become some kind of crazy bodybuilder or fitness model, but you gotta treat it with respect. You gotta fuel it with the right stuff and put it through its paces. Start working out, eat better, get enough sleep. These are the basics, man. You don't have to go full-on carnivore diet, but cut back on the sugar. You don't have to be benching your body weight, but get moving. Even if it's just a 20-minute walk every day. It all adds up. Remember, this isn't about vanity, it's about self-respect. It's about showing yourself that you care. Now I know what you're thinking. Lou, I don't have time for all this. But that's just the excuse monster talking, my friend. You don't need a whole lot of time to make a difference. It's about making small, sustainable changes. Instead of guzzling down soda all day, try drinking more water. Instead of binge-watching Netflix until 2 in the morning, try going to bed an hour earlier. Instead of ordering takeout, try cooking yourself a healthy meal. These are just a few examples, but you get the idea. Start small and build from there. You'll be amazed at how much of a difference it makes. Remember, Rome wasn't built in a day, it was built brick by brick, just like your body and your self-respect. Here's the deal. Taking care of your body takes discipline. It takes willpower. And you know what? Those are the same qualities you need to succeed in life. When you push yourself physically, you're training your mind to be stronger too. You're developing self-control. And that self-control will spill over into every other area of your life. You'll start making better decisions. You'll be more productive. You'll have more energy. And most importantly, You'll have more respect for yourself. You'll look in the mirror and see a man who's in control, a man who takes care of business. And that, my friends, is a powerful feeling. Alright, gents, let's talk boundaries. This is some real alpha male stuff right here. You got these dudes walking around letting people walk all over them like a doormat. No respect for themselves, no respect for their time, nothing. That's a recipe for disaster, man. You let people disrespect you, they're gonna keep doing it. You let them take advantage, they're gonna keep taking. It's like training a dog, you know? You gotta show them where the line is, or they're gonna keep pissing all over the carpet. And the crazy part is, most of the time, people don't even realize they're doing it, they just keep pushing, 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 until they find that line. And if you haven't set one, well, you're gonna get pushed around your whole life. It's like that old saying, give an inch, they take a mile. Except in this case, it's more like, give an inch, they take your self-respect. So, how do you stop that from happening? You set boundaries, man. You build that wall, that fence, that moat with the crocodiles in it. Okay, maybe not the crocodiles, but you get the idea. You gotta make it clear what you will and will not tolerate. What you will and will not accept. This goes for everything, man. Your time, your energy, your relationships, your work. If something doesn't feel right, if it's draining you, if it's disrespecting you, you call it out. You don't let it slide. You don't make excuses for other people's bad behavior, you address it head on. Now, I'm not saying you gotta go around being a jerk about it. You can be assertive without being aggressive. You can be firm, but fair. You can say no without being a jerk. It's all about communication, man. Let people know what your limits are and then stick to your guns. Remember, you teach people how to treat you. One of the most powerful words in the English language, no. It's a simple word, but it can be hard to say. Especially if you're a people pleaser. You want everyone to like you, you want to be the nice guy, you don't want to rock the boat. But let me tell you something, sometimes you gotta rock the boat a little bit. Sometimes you gotta say no to the good so you can say yes to the great. Think about it, man. What happens when you say yes to everything? You spread yourself too thin. You end up overcommitted, overwhelmed, and burnt out. You're doing things you don't want to do for people who probably don't even appreciate it. And what does that do for your self-respect? It tanks it, man. It's like you're telling yourself that your time, your energy, your needs don't matter. But when you start saying no, something interesting happens. You reclaim your power. You start to prioritize yourself and your own well-being. You start attracting people and opportunities that are actually aligned with your values. It's like you put this force field up that repels all the nonsense and attracts all the good stuff. And the best part is, people respect you more for it. They might be surprised at first, especially if you're used to being a yes man, but deep down, they'll respect you for having the guts to stand up for yourself. They'll see you as someone who knows their worth, who doesn't settle, who doesn't let people walk all over them. Alright fellas, let's talk about building skills. This is where the rubber meets the road, man. You see, in this world you gotta have leverage. You gotta have something that makes you valuable. It's like, think about it in terms of nature, right? What happens to the animals that can't hunt, that can't gather, that can't defend themselves? They get weeded out, man. It's the circle of life. And look, I'm not saying you gotta go out there and become some kind of apex predator, but you gotta have something you bring to the table. Something that makes you stand out. Because when you got skills, you got options, man. You're not stuck in a corner begging for scraps, you're calling the shots. So, what are you passionate about? What gets you fired up? Maybe it's working with your hands, building things, fixing things. Maybe it's technology, coding, creating websites or apps. Or maybe it's something completely different, like writing, music, or art. Whatever it is, man, dive in head first. Because here's the thing, the more you learn, the more valuable you become. It's like investing in yourself, man. You're putting in the time and effort now, so you can reap the rewards later. And trust me, the rewards are there. More money, more opportunities, more respect. It all comes with the territory, and you know what else comes with having valuable skills? Confidence, man. That quiet confidence that comes from knowing you can handle your own. When you know you've got something to offer, you walk differently. You talk differently, you carry yourself differently. People pick up on that too. They can sense it. And it commands respect, man. It shows them you're not just another face in the crowd. You're a dude with purpose, a dude with drive, a dude who's going places. Let's talk about your mind, man. That space between your ears, that's your most valuable asset. But here's the thing, your mind is like a sponge, you know? It absorbs everything you feed it. So, if you're constantly bombarding it with garbage, negative news, mindless scrolling, toxic entertainment, guess what? Your mind's gonna become a garbage dump. And you're gonna start to feel like garbage too, man. You're gonna be anxious, you're gonna be depressed, you're gonna be unmotivated because you're literally poisoning your mind with all that crap. So what's the solution? You gotta curate your information diet, man. Just like you wouldn't eat fast food every day, you shouldn't be consuming mental junk food every day. It's about making conscious choices about what you allow into your headspace. Start by limiting your exposure to negative news. I'm not saying bury your head in the sand, but you don't need to be bombarded with negativity 24/7. And then take a look at your social media habits. Are you mindlessly scrolling for hours, comparing yourself to others, feeling inadequate? If so, it's time to hit the unfollow button, man. Unfollow anyone who doesn't inspire you, who doesn't uplift you. Now that you've cut out the crap, it's time to start feeding your mind with some quality stuff. Read books, man. Listen to podcasts. Watch documentaries. Surround yourself with people who are smarter than you, who challenge you, who make you think. Because when you feed your mind with good stuff, you start to see the world differently. You start to see possibilities instead of limitations. You start to believe in yourself and your ability to achieve great things. Alright fellas, we've covered a lot of ground here today. We talked about keeping your promises, taking care of your body, setting boundaries, building valuable skills, and controlling what you consume. And you know what all of these things have in common? They're all about self-respect. Because here's the deal, self-respect isn't something you're born with. It's not something that's just handed to you. It's something you build. You earn it through your actions, through your choices, through the way you live your life. You start by making a promise to yourself and keeping it. Then you make another one, and another one, and another one. You start taking care of your body, fueling it with good food, moving it, pushing it to its limits. You start setting boundaries, saying no to the things and people that drain you, that hold you back. You start building skills, honing your craft, becoming the best version of yourself. And you start controlling what you consume, feeding your mind with knowledge, with inspiration, with positivity. If you apply even one of these things today, I promise you'll feel a shift in how you see yourself. You'll start to walk a little taller, talk a little louder, and carry yourself with more confidence, because you'll know deep down that you're worthy of respect. Now here's your challenge. Pick one strategy and do it today. Drop a comment below on what you're committing to, and let's hold each other accountable. Like, share, and subscribe if this hit home for you, because we're just getting started. Respect yourself first, and the world will follow.